In one fleeting second so quick you might miss it if you blinked, Bailu made a tiny, delicate gesture, almost invisible to anyone except the one person who was meant to see it. And Joseph Zeng reacted instantly. No script. No professional choreography. Just instinct, raw and unfiltered. That one moment during the Legend of Love promotional event in Linjiang has now set social media on fire, dragging fandoms into an emotional spiral they didn't even try to escape from. Everything about the event looked ordinary at first. Bright stage lights. Excited crowds. Co-stars lined up in a neat formation. But beneath all the noise, something small and astonishing happened, something fans would replay thousands of times within just hours. Bailu glanced to her side and noticed Joseph standing a little too far from her. Not dramatically far, just enough for her expression to soften into that subtle, almost shy signal she gives when she wants someone closer. She raised her hand gently, barely moving it, and that was enough. In an instant, Joseph stepped closer, closing the space between them like it was the most natural thing he could ever do. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't loud. But fans felt the electricity crack through the air. Because Joseph didn't pause. He didn't look confused. He didn't hesitate. He reacted as if he had done this 100 times. As if he understood her without needing her to speak. And fans, who've been tracking their chemistry since filming began, caught it immediately. Slow motion edits flooded TikTok, paired with romantic OSTs and captions like they didn't even try to hide it or this is real chemistry, not PR. They weren't wrong for thinking that. Because the way Joseph moved wasn't how a co-star reacts to a colleague. It was how someone moves when the gesture comes from a person they care deeply about. The micro-expressions told the entire story. Bailu's face softened as soon as Joseph stood closer. Her shoulders relaxed. Her smile shifted from polite to warm, real, almost tender. And Joseph angled his body slightly toward her, creating a quiet bubble on stage, an unspoken world only they existed in. In that short second, the distance between them collapsed, and fans felt like they were intruding on something intimate. But the reason this tiny gesture became a storm isn't just because of how sweet it was. It's because this wasn't an isolated moment, it fit perfectly into a pattern fans have been piecing together for months. Their behind-the-scenes laughter that always seemed a little too natural. Joseph instinctively turning toward Bailu during interviews. Bailu teasing him in a way that felt familiar, like someone who knows exactly how to make him smile. And now, this interaction on stage simply added fuel to a fire that was already glowing. Their energy isn't loud. It's not staged. It's quiet, warm, and incredibly real. The kind of connection you don't create for cameras, the kind that grows naturally, almost accidentally, until one day you can't hide it anymore. And what truly drove fans wild was everything that happened after they stepped off the stage. Even backstage, Joseph stayed close to Bailu, matching her pace as they walked. At one point, he positioned himself slightly behind her in a protective way, subtly shielding her from the crowd without making it obvious. It wasn't over the top or grand. It was gentle. The type of instinct someone has when they're used to caring about another person. What made it even more telling was that Bailu didn't move away. She didn't shift aside. Instead, she moved comfortably with him, as if his presence was something familiar, something she had gotten used to. Their body language danced around each other so effortlessly that fans described it as quietly intimate. A connection lived, not performed. And this is why the fandom can't let go of the question they've been whispering for months. Is something actually happening between them, not as co-stars, Not as colleagues, but as two people who might be slowly falling for each other. Hollywood relationships often spark suddenly, loudly, in big gestures. But relationships in the Asian entertainment world, especially between actors like Bai Lu and Joseph, are often quiet at first. Subtle. Hidden between glances, half smiles, and small gestures like this one. And this moment at Linjiang didn't just feel like chemistry. It felt like familiarity. Like trust. Like two people who know how to read each other in silence. Sometimes the most powerful signs aren't the dramatic ones. Sometimes they hide in instinct, in proximity, in unspoken understanding. And for fans who have watched their connection develop piece by piece, that 1-second gesture felt like a window into something real, something meaningful, something tender blooming beneath the surface. Whether what we're seeing is the beginning of a love story or simply a rare friendship full of warmth and trust, one thing is clear: the world is watching them now. Their connection is hypnotic. It's the kind of chemistry that keeps fans awake at night, replaying the same clip, feeling the same fluttering warmth in their chest, hoping for answers but secretly enjoying the mystery. And maybe, just maybe, this moment isn't the end. Maybe it's the beginning of something bigger than anyone expected. If that tiny gesture made your heart skip too, stay close. There's no way the story ends here.